Or should I act surprised? Oh, hey, I'm on. Okay, oh, it came on automatically. Okay, good. So if there was anybody watching, it wouldn't. Oh, there's somebody watching. Hey, there's somebody out there watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching my stream. Lurkers are welcome. So what I just did here. Oh wait, let me. All right, I'm gonna put you guys on a be right back here, or something. You know what? Yeah, whoever just joined the stream, this is pretty messed up right now. My stream. But if you hang in there, you'll see something about about converting Celsius to centigrade. All right, let me. This is my be right back screen. Okay. We'll be right back. Hey, I came back. I lost my viewer. I lost my lurker, but all right. So I figured out what happened when I went to figure out how to spell centigrade in Celsius. That's when I lost it. So we didn't get any of this on that first part of the stream. So I'm going to do it over again, just because I need to practice anyway. That's the whole point of this stream, anyway, is to practice this stuff. Practice this. Tablet stuff. All right, so all right, let me go to. All right, there we go. So now we're gonna do this whole thing over again. Because I need to practice. God, I can't even get this thing to work here. All right, so I'm gonna erase everything. Wow, look at that. Okay, I guess I'll erase this too, and we'll do this over again. Okay. There we go. All right. How to convert from Celsius to centigrade. Oh, I can look how to spell Fahrenheit now. Let me try that. Should I try that? Let me see if I can do that right this time. All right, let me go back to this. Okay, so we went to Google. Now I got to try to spell Fahrenheit. God, I don't know. Fahrenheit. I think it's P. Is it PH? Fahrenheit. All right. FAH. Fahrenheit. Okay, look at that. Fair. All right, am I going to remember how to do that? FHA, Ren, heat. Okay, heat. That's pretty easy to remember. Okay. FAH. This is when somebody has dyslexia. This is what they have to do. I have to figure out mnemonics and everything else to try to figure out how to spell words. So like Fahrenheit, I'm looking at that and I go, okay, FHA. Okay, I can remember. Or FAH, right? FAH. And then Ren and heat, which is how I would pronounce that word, because when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. Unless you're dyslexic, and then all the words are all mixed up. All right, so, all right, let me FHA, FAH, Ren, heat. All right, but it's not really heat. All right, let me see if I can spell that here. Okay, looks like we're online here. All right, so let me erase that and see if I can remember how to spell Fahrenheit from what I just looked up there. If people who have dyslexia aren't stupid, it's a community. It's like a deafness kind of, but it's further in. It's not in the part of the brain that's right next to the ear. It's further in. It's further in the language centers, parts of the brain in the temporal lobe of your brain. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right, Fahrenheit. Let's see, Celsius to. All right. Okay, so what did I say? FAH, Ran, heat, Fahrenheit. There we go. Look at that. But when I fall asleep tonight, I'll forget that and I won't remember it again. I don't know why. Some words I've been able to learn just by using mnemonics and getting a few of them. I almost had bureaucracy the other day. I almost had that figured out, but I don't think I could spell that right now. But I had that figured out for a while. I knew how to spell that. It took years and years and years to do that. Beautiful, that was another one. It took me years and years and years to learn how to spell beautiful. Okay, so let's see. So, you want to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, so degrees Fahrenheit, temperature. Let me do this further up here. Okay. Temperature Fahrenheit. Is equal to temperature Celsius times 1.8 plus 32. Okay. Now the way that works out, 1.8, another way of expressing 1.8 is 1.8. Another way of saying 1.8 is to say 9/5. And another way to say 9/5, you multiplied that by 2, you get 18/10. And that's a ratio. So let me make sure my audio is working too, since I'm doing this over again. Yeah, all right. So that's a ratio. And that means that for every 10 degrees that the Celsius changes, the Fahrenheit is going to move 18 degrees. Or for every 5 degrees that the Celsius moves, the Fahrenheit will move 9 degrees. Or for every one, you can do this too, right? You can put any number over 1, right? For every 1 degree that Celsius moves, Fahrenheit will move 1.8 degrees. So this is kind of the basic. You got to know this. One of these things. The 1.8, the 5.9, 1810. You know, you got to know that. The other thing you got to know is why it says plus 32 on there. The reason it says plus 32 is that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. That's standard temperature and pressure. But if you understand Fahrenheit, if you live in the United States, you know that Fahrenheit is 32 degrees. And water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. But if you've done any cooking or been around, or you're an adult, you probably know that Fahrenheit water boils at 212. So this you already know, right? You already know that water freezes at 32, it boils at 212. You know that if you know Fahrenheit. The rest of this you kind of have to learn, and it's not that hard. And so if you wanted to figure out the whole scale here, and all you knew was that Fahrenheit was at 32, freezing, and Celsius is 0 at 32 at freezing, you can figure out the rest of it. You can say, because you can go over here and say 18 over 10, you can say for every 10 degrees that Celsius changes, Fahrenheit's going to change 18. So it makes it really easy to figure out what the rest of these numbers are in here. You can say, okay, here's Celsius going from 0 to 10. That's 10. That's the same as 18, going from 18 degrees. So you go 18 onto that, and you get 50. That's pretty easy, right? And then from 10 to 20, that's another 18 degrees. So add another 18 onto that, you get 68. And then another 10 degrees of Celsius, you add another 18 onto here. Okay, for some reason I'm typing, that's 68. And then, so that's 86. I'm going to clean that up a little bit here. All right, it should be 68. So, and 68 plus 18 is 86. Right. 86 plus 18 is 104. Right. 104 plus 18 is 122. Right. You can do this in your head. You wouldn't need a calculator or anything. We're figuring all this out just from knowing that 18 over 10, right? 18, every 10 degrees of Celsius is 18 degrees Fahrenheit. That's all we got to know. And we got to know that 0 is freezing in Fahrenheit, or in Celsius. That's all we had to know. If we're an American, we don't know anything about Celsius, and we want to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's all we got to know. And we can easily figure this all out. And then from 50 to 60 is another 10 degrees. That's another 18 degrees. So that's going to be 140. And another 10 degrees is going to be 158. Did I do this right? Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, 140 and 158. That's screwed up again. Let me try this again. And then another 10 onto another 18 added onto that. Right, we're going from 10 degrees here from 70 to 80. So another 18 degrees is 176. And another 10. 194. That's another 18 onto 176. And then that should be 18 between those two. So that 212, no, if you know that 212 is the boiling for Fahrenheit, and you know, and the Celsius scale, boiling is 100. It goes from 0 for freezing, 100 for boiling on water at normal temperature or pressure. So there you go. So we double checked it because we went to 212. It all worked out. And then if you want to go the other way, you go backwards. Minus 10 from 32 is 14. Right? 32 minus 18 is 14. Then 14 minus 18, that's a little bit, if you're not used to doing math and stuff, that's a little bit harder, but because you got to cross 0. One way to do that, if you try to do it in your head, is to subtract 14 from 18, and whatever's left over is the minus. So we end up with minus 4. You don't have to remember that. I mean, it's kind of complicated. Actually, let me do that. Okay, this is minus 14. Jesus. Okay, that's 14. This is minus 4. And then subtract 18 from that, and you get minus 22. Is that right? Yeah. 18. Yeah, that's right. Minus 22. And then basically what we're doing, once you get below 0, you're adding 18. Right? 4 plus 18 is 22, but it's minus. And then 22 plus 18 is 40. But that's minus also, right? Because we're in a negative scale. All right. And it's minus 58. So this is kind of interesting, isn't it? Minus 40 is the same on both of these. Look at that. That's kind of neat. That's another way you can check that. If you just remember minus 40 is the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit, that's another check that you can do if you're trying to create this thing from scratch. So that's you can do the whole scale from scratch, knowing nothing but this 1810 here and stuff that you already know because you're, you know what the Fahrenheit scale is. This is for people in America, right, who are trying to figure out what a Celsius temperature means. When somebody says, "Oh, it's 42 degrees," I can't figure out what. I can't. It's hotter than hell. It's 42 degrees, and then in America, then we go, "Oh, wait, that's doesn't make sense. 42 is not that hot." But then you do the calculation. So, like, if we wanted to do that, if we wanted to go from 40 to 42 again, we know that 40 is 104, so we already know it's hot. And 2 more degrees. It's almost it's almost 2 to 1, right? This is almost 20 over 10, which is the same as 2 to 1. It's almost that much. It's a little bit less than that. If it was 2 degrees of Fahrenheit for every 1 degree of Celsius, then 42 would be 108. Oh shit, I did that wrong. It would be 108. But it's not quite 2. It's a little bit less than that. It actually works out to 107.6. So if you want to we take another number. Let me see. Suppose it was I don't know, 13 degrees. 13 degrees Celsius. That's kind of hard to get to, isn't it? So it was 13 degrees Celsius. We know that 10. If it was 10 degrees, it'd be 50. So we need 50 plus 3 more Celsius degrees. If it was that would be 6 degrees. It was 2 for everyone, but it's not. It's a little bit less than that. It's actually 5.4. I think. Just doing it in my head. So 13 degrees is probably 55.4. Let me do that the hard way and see if it works out. You see how I did that? No, you didn't see how I got to 5.4, but so if it was 50 degrees plus 3 degrees Celsius. So we want to figure out what 3 degrees Celsius is in Fahrenheit. You know, one way is to multiply by 9 and divide by 5. Do that. That's kind of complicated. Or we can multiply by 1.8. That seems pretty easy. 1.8 times 3. Let's carry the 2. Do they still do math this way? They probably do math differently now, don't they? They change it every couple of decades. 50, so it's 5. Bring down the dot here. The point. 5.4. So it's 50 degrees Celsius, which we know, I'm sorry, 50 degrees of Fahrenheit. All right, we're trying to figure out what 13 degrees C is. So 13 degrees C, we look on our little chart we just made up from our own brain. We've got 50 Fahrenheit plus 3 degrees Celsius. And 3 degrees Celsius is, we figured out, was 5.4 Fahrenheit. So 50 plus 5.4 is 55.4. So that was doing it the hard way. The easy way was a little bit easier. Another way to do 1.8, oh, it won't undo anymore. It only has so many levels of undo. This is a child's program. I figured if I got a child's program, it would be easier, you know, a program for kids. That'd be easier for me to learn. And it was really easy. I learned really easy. But it's got some performance issues here while I'm streaming. It doesn't want to go too fast when I'm streaming. If all you need to do is estimate you can do these numbers you can remember after a while. You know that 10 is 50, 20 is 68, 30 is 86, 104. You can remember these. That's not that hard to remember, and you can figure out mnemonics. You understand that. But if you wanted to get one of those in between numbers, like another one, let's do another one. Let's say 28. We wanted to get to 28. Okay, what is 28 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Well, you can find the closest one is 30. So this you can do in your head, right? Figure out the closest one is 30. 30 we know is 86. So we know it's got to be 2 degrees Celsius from that. 2 degrees Celsius, we just do 2 times 1.8, which is almost 2 times 4, right? So if we were just trying to get an estimate, we could say it's -4 and just say, okay, it's close enough. It's about 82 degrees Fahrenheit. So somebody says, oh, it's 28 degrees Celsius. You can almost figure that out in your head very, very quickly by saying, okay, that's almost 30, which is 86. It's 2 minus that. 2 times 2 is 4. It's about 82 degrees. You see how I did that? It's actually going to be a little bit more than that. It's going to be 82 point something. 82.6, I think. No, 82.4. Here we can figure it out the hard way. Let's do it the hard way just to make sure. So we say 28 degrees times 1.8 64 Where did I screw up here? 28 degrees times 1.8, 64, 16, 22, 28, 4. Carry the 1. Forgot to carry the 1. There we go. 82.4. Yeah, that's what I almost guessed. So you see how that works? And if you know this 9.5 ratio also, you can figure out the in-betweens. You know, want to figure out what 45 degrees Celsius is. Want to figure out what 45 degrees Celsius is. I know that 40 is 104. And I know that 45 is 5 more than that. And I know that for every 5 degrees of Celsius, I go 9 degrees of Fahrenheit. So that's pretty easy. You just take 104 plus 9. That's going to be 113 degrees. Whoops. Oh, shit. That was weird. Remember to use the left mouse button. Okay, good to know. All right. So you see how I did that? So those are really easy to get to. The 5s. If you know what all these other ones are, okay, so let's say we want to figure out what 5 degrees is. 5 degrees is going to be 9 degrees. Or, 32 plus 9, right? 41. And it's easy to add 9 to numbers, too. Right? If you're trying to add 9 to a number, take any number. 132. If you want to add 9 to that number, add 1 to this one and subtract 1 from that one. 41. That's if you're trying to do that in your head. You don't have to. That's kind of like a shortcut. There are all kinds of little shortcuts that you can use when you're doing math, you know, in your head. But yeah, adding 9 is pretty easy. Adding 18 kind of works the same way. You add 1 to this. You add 2 to this and subtract 2 from that. It's kind of the same thing, right? Because it's 2. Here we add 1 and subtract 1. 18 is 2 times 9, so you do add 2 and subtract 2. It's kind of the same. Anyway. All right, we want to do another practice. I need a lot more practice with my little my little Wacom thing here, or Wycom. They don't pronounce it Wacom. It's pronounced Wacom. Oh, I'm erasing wrong stuff here. All right. All right, we'll do that. Any questions? No questions. Why are you wasting my time? That's a good question. Let's see here. All right. Do we need to do more? You word the other way. That's a little bit more complicated. Yeah, suppose you're in Europe and you want to go the other way. Okay, the other way is to go temperature Celsius is equal to temperature Fahrenheit minus 32 times divided by 1.8. Did I do that right? Let me make sure I got that right. All right, so if we had a Celsius temperature of minus 20, and I said that's equal to the Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by 1.8. So minus 20 is minus 4. So if I said minus 4 minus 32, I get my minus 4 minus 32, and I want to divide that by 1.8. So hit 30 divided by 1.8. Let's see if that works. Minus 20. Yeah, right. Okay, so my formula is good. All right, so we could practice some of those. It's a little bit harder to do that. If you remember this table here, let's try to do it that way. If you remember the table. So if you're in Europe and somebody in America says, "Oh, it's so cold. It's 30 degrees," and you go, "What? 30? That's not that cold. You know, that's hot. That's 86. That's hot." So 30 degrees. They say, "Oh, it's 30 degrees." All right, so you can say, okay, if you know that 32 degrees is freezing in Fahrenheit, and you know this is minus, this is 2 degrees less than that, and for every, so you get 0 degrees C minus 2 degrees F. And 2 degrees F, you know, is about 1 degree C. So it's approximately minus 1 degree C. So if somebody says it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit, you can say it's approximately minus 1 C. If you wanted to figure out exactly, it would be minus 0.2. No, 0.8. No, 0.6. Did I do that right? No, it would be 0 minus, so it would be minus 1.8. 30. God, I'm lost here. I just got lost. Let me start over. 30 degrees. All right, somebody in the U.S. says 30 degrees Fahrenheit. and you're in Europe, you say, oh, that's not that cold. What is it actually? You know that 32 is 0, and it's minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit below 0. So all you got to do is figure out what 2 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius. And we know that Celsius, to convert to Celsius, it's 10 degrees of Celsius for every 18 degrees, or 5 degrees for every 9, or 1 degree for every 1.8 degrees of Celsius. So this is 2 degrees divided by 1.8. That looks kind of complicated, doesn't it? Another way to do that is to go 2 times 5 divided by 9. So that would be 10 divided by 9, which is 1.1. 1. Did I do that right? So you'd subtract 1.111. God, this is a lot harder to do this from this way. I can do it in my head going the other way. Got to be an easier way to do this. So 2 degrees Fahrenheit divided by 1.8. Yeah, it's 1.111 Celsius. Fahrenheit minus 32 divided by, oh, I know what I was getting the sign wrong. Yeah, I had it right, 1.11111. But it's a minus. It's a minus. Yeah, if you need to figure it out exactly, then you got to do all the math. You know, I don't know of a quick way to go from Fahrenheit to Celsius. If I thought about it, I could probably figure out some shortcuts that would work. But if you needed to figure it out exactly, then you need to then you just need to multiply it out with the formula. Yeah, let's do another one. Let's just try to estimate, right? So if somebody in America says, "Oh, it's 101 degrees. It's so hot," and you go, "Yeah, that's boiling. You're boiling, right?" But okay. So, but they're talking Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit, 101 degrees. So you figure out what's close to that. What's close to that is 40 or 40 degrees of Celsius. You know that 40 degrees Celsius is 104 Fahrenheit because you got your little handy chart here. So if they said 104, oops, 101, you know that's 104 plus, you know, plus a little bit more. So you can say that it's 40, yeah, approximately 40 degrees, right? little bit less than that, I guess. 39. That'd be an estimate. We figure out. I'll figure out what. If you figure out what 39 is. 39 times 1.8. We want to figure out what Fahrenheit is from 39. 972. Carry the 7. 24. 31. 39. 2. 7. Plus 32. 2.2. Well, that didn't work out, did it? Pretty close, though. It's pretty close to what they said. So it might even be closer to 38 then, huh? That was 38. That'd be 64. 0. That'd be 8. That'd be 68.4. Plus 32, that'd be 4. So that'd be a little bit closer. Be 100.4. So yeah, it's between 38 and 39, you know, if you're trying to estimate it. Anyway, so I think I've learned a little bit about how this stupid thing works. This tablet. God, I learned that this program, this eraser just doesn't, a lot of the functions on here just don't go at all while I'm streaming. It's really weird. It just takes forever. Which is kind of a problem. I guess I can work around it. Get a faster computer. Okay. All right, enough of this. All right, so that was we did a word problem, trains, and we did Celsius to Fahrenheit. Oh my goodness! All right, whoops, I don't want to save that. How do I quit? No, don't save that. Oh, quit. No, don't bother saving. All right. There's I wanted to show a video. Let me change my my thing here. Maybe I should do this on a separate stream. Yeah, I've already gone over an hour here, I think. With two, I'll save that for another stream. Okay. All right, so that was it. That was me trying to figure out how to work my little tablet here. It's a lot harder to use than a mouse, but I think it's more useful when I'm trying to explain something, as long as I can remember to put it up on the screen. Then I'll be okay. So everybody, if tomorrow I'm going to do, I'm pretty sure if I can get it prepared, I'm going to do a review of the movie Contact that was made in 1996, starring Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey. It was a story written by Carl Sagan and his wife, and it's a great movie. It's just especially for people who are not satisfied with Hollywood type treatments of sci-fi where they dumb it down or make mistakes and do a bunch of stupid stuff. I mean, they make mistakes in Contact also, but it's very firmly based on science. For the most part. And it's just well done, and Yeah, it's a great movie. It's just that it's long. It's 2 hours and 2.5 hours long, and it's packed with stuff. I mean, every minute of that 150 minutes is, got stuff in it. It's multi-layered and stuff like that. So it's going to take a little bit of effort for me to figure out how to do that and present it in a way that makes sense. I'll do it a lot better than I did this stream. This is just a practice stream. I should have put test up there on my stream, but nobody came anyway, so it didn't matter. But tomorrow I'm going to review Contact, and if you want to watch, if you've seen it before, then you want to see this review, because I'll go through a lot of stuff and talk about stuff that you might not have noticed or maybe didn't understand or whatever. So that's what I'll do tomorrow. And if you haven't seen it, don't watch the review, because it's going to have spoilers in it. So you don't want the movie to get spoiled, right? I don't like spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers, I don't know. But this is the type of movie that has a lot of spoilers in it. It has stuff in it that's kind of surprising, shocking, and all that kind of stuff. So if you have not seen it, don't wait and watch the movie first before you watch the review, because it's going to have spoilers in it. But you have until tomorrow to watch the movie. It's only 2.5 hours. All right. Well, thank you for watching. I'm gonna close it out now. Do I have to do anything else? I don't think I have to do anything else. Oh, should I? No, I don't have to. Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to wear your mask. Oh, that's what I forgot. We're still in the pandemic, even though people aren't talking about it. A lot of people are dying. It's very sad. And if you wear a mask like this, you won't kill people. If you don't care about killing people, then don't wear a mask. If you don't want to kill people, wear a mask. Because a lot of people are dying. It's got to be an N95. It's got to say N95 on it. Don't use a cloth mask. It's got to say N95. Has to have straps that go all the way around your head. And when you wear it, make sure it makes a seal all the way around, so the air doesn't leak in around it. If you do that, then you won't kill people. But if you don't wear a mask, you kill people. All right. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye.